From Elbc in Pinzo, good evening and a warm welcome to Newsline. 1 full hour of news, reports, captivating interviews, illustrated reports from and about Liberia and beyond. Today is Thursday, December 11, and it's 7 p.m. in Liberia. In the headlines, Liberia and ECOWAS signed agreement to host ECOWAS Youth Development Center. Liberian government and Millennium Challenge Corporation hold talks after selecting Liberia for a second compact. House of Representatives ratifies concession and access agreement between the government and Ivanhoe Liberia Limited. And away from Liberia, Ethiopian police arrest a popular TikToker over allegations of indecent dressing at a public event in the culturally consecutive country. Also coming up is an ELBC commentary titled Liberia's eligibility for a second MCC compact in sight as the health sector gets a big boost. But first, here is Patrick Kamara and the Bulletin of News.
Liberia has been selected to host the Economic Community of West African States ECOWAS Youth and Sports Center. The decision was reached Thursday in Abuja, Nigeria, at the ongoing 95th Ordinary Session of ECOWAS Council of Ministers. According to our reporter, Liberia's selection to host the ECOWAS Youth and Sports Center followed the withdrawal of Burkina Faso from the regional bloc. Burkina Faso has been hosting the Economic Community of West African States Youth and Sports Center since 2005, prior to the military takeover in that country. Liberia's selection to host the ECOWAS Youth and Sports Center underscores the Liberian government's steadfast commitment to enhanced youth development in the sub-region. Government and the Millennium Challenge Corporation have begun meeting to identify specific areas for support under the second compact for Liberia. On Wednesday, Liberia's eligibility for a second compact was reaffirmed by the Board of Directors of MCC in Washington, D.C., the United States of America. At the ongoing meeting, Liberia is being represented by Finance Minister Augustine Gaffon, while the MCC is represented by Madam Kari Munahan, Head of Compact Operations for Africa. Minister Gaffon told the Super Morning Show on Thursday that the ongoing engagements will unveil the specific amount Liberia is expected to receive as part of its compact selection. The Finance Minister named energy, roads, port infrastructure, and access to finance for the private sector as areas of high priority. Minister Gaffon also disclosed the recruitment of technical people to strengthen the operations of the MCC Compact Office in Monrovia. At the same time, the Finance Minister has attributed Liberia's selection for a second compact to what he called the visionary leadership of President Joseph Boakai. Liberia's first compact, in the tune of $257 million United States dollars, was signed on November 2, 2015 by then Vice President Joseph Boakai in Washington, D.C. Amongst other things, the grant rehabilitated the Montcovey Hydro Power Plant and established different institutions, including the Liberia Electricity Anti-Regulatory Authority. Minister Gaffon told the Super Morning Show on Thursday that the Liberian leaders strategically deployed a team of sector ministers to engage the American government and ensure Liberia's selection. The Finance Minister recounted the excellent deliberation by President Joseph Boakai at the Strategic U.S.-Africa Summit as one of several moments that have gotten Liberia where it is. Mr. Gaffon lauded the efforts of his team at the ministry and all sectorial heads for ensuring Liberia's case was made at the MCC. Members of the House of Representatives have unanimously ratified the concession and access agreement between the Liberian government and Ivanhoe Liberia Limited. The deal gives Ivanhoe conditional rights to export Guinea iron ore through Liberia's rail and the port of Buchanan. Reports from the Joint Committee on Investment and Concessions, Judiciary, Ways, Means and Finance, and Good Governance says the agreement grants Ivanhoe a 25-year right to transport iron ore from Guinea using Liberia's existing rail line and the port of Buchanan. Under the terms, the concession years will upgrade the railway and improve facilities at the Buchanan port to ensure safe multi-user operations. The agreement also positions Liberia as a transit route for industrial goods headed to Guinea, bringing expected financial and infrastructure benefits. Meanwhile, the instrument has been forwarded to the Senate for concurrence. Liberia and India have signed a memorandum of understanding for the enhanced cooperation in the health sector of both nations. The MOU outlined public health, pharmaceutical quality standards, and regulatory collaboration as key areas that will be prioritized. An Indian embassy release says it will also foster exchange of technical information and collaboration on pharmaceutical monographs and emerging pharmaceutical technologies. The release is quoted as saying the move reflects India's commitment to supporting Liberia's public health objectives and deepening cooperation in pharmaceuticals and regulatory capacity building. Meanwhile, the MOU was signed by the Indian ambassador to Liberia, Manoj Verma, and Liberia's Health Minister, Dr. Louis Otto. The Forestry Development Authority has launched the Liberia Wonagizi and Wologizi Initiative for Sustainable Ecosystems project. The 5-year project worth €9 million is being funded by the French government through the French Development Agency. At the launch Thursday, FDA Deputy Managing Director for Conservation, Community and Carbon, Nora Brewer, said the project marks a milestone in Liberia's collective effort to protect, manage, and sustainably utilize critical forest landscapes in northern Liberia. Madam Brewer said the Wonagizi and Wologizi landscape is a stronghold for biodiversity and a vital source of ecosystem services, and this protection is not only a conservation responsibility but a development and governance obligation. She expressed optimism that the project will strengthen collaboration across conservation, enhance technical alignment, and ensure the intervention within the Wonagizi-Wologizi landscape are coherent. Meanwhile, the French ambassador to Liberia, Isabelle Le Goulet, has described the WAS project as a beginning of a long-term partnership for forest, people, and climate resilience between Liberia and France. Ambassador Goulet said France is proud of the support Liberia continues to receive, especially in initiatives on biodiversity and conservation. She added that the project aligns with Liberia's national commitment on the reduction of deforestation and the expansion of protected areas to 1.5 million hectares. Ambassador Legole said the initiative will contribute to the implementation of the Land Rights Act and support Liberia's efforts to build incredible and transparent carbon finance architecture. The project will provide 34,000 people with improved living conditions, 42 communities, and 15,000 farmlands with improved farming techniques, among others. The Foreign Ministry has received 2 brand new SUV vehicles from the Korean government to enhance its workings. At the handover ceremony Thursday in Monrovia, the Honorary Consul of Korea, Jasprit Sa, highlighted Korea's readiness to support Liberia's journey towards growth and prosperity. Mr. Sai said the Korean government's support includes providing vehicles to the Liberian government and plans for future development initiatives. The Korean envoy also highlighted the long-standing friendly ties between Liberia and Korea. Meanwhile, Acting Foreign Minister Gabriel Sele has expressed Liberia's gratitude for Korea's ongoing support and commitment to Liberia's transformation. Minister Sele reiterated a commitment to bilateral engagements with a focus on enhancing development through mutual cooperation. He also emphasized the importance of continued bilateral cooperation to enhance development. The acting foreign minister called for more technical assistance and scholarships from Korea to strengthen Liberia's capacity and potential. Minister Sele also recounted the significant aid Korea has provided to Liberia, including food aid and a 12.6 million donation to fight Ebola virus in 2014. Liberia Independent Elder Council for Peace and Reconciliation is calling on the Liberian Senate to reject a proposed bill seeking to increase the seats at the lower house. Recently, the House of Representatives voted to increase the total number of seats to 87, adding 14 new districts pending concurrence from the Liberian Senate. But addressing a news conference on Thursday, the council's chairman, Samuel Phillips, discouraged the Senate from acknowledging the bill, noting that such instrument doesn't reflect the interest of the ordinary citizens. At the same time, the council chairman has lauded ongoing developments in the country. Elder Phillips praised President Joseph Boakai and his cabinet ministers for the current transformative journey of the nation. He named the new NTA buses, reduction in the price of rice, expanded access to electricity, and the stability of the state as some major achievements of the government within a short period of time. A local NGO, DCAP Liberia Incorporated, has ended its annual economic empowerment payout, giving over $500,000 Liberian dollars to support marginalized women. The organization focuses on supporting women with disabilities and those from low-income backgrounds, helping them gain skills, confidence, and economic independence. DCAP Executive Director Helena Wena said the payout makes a real difference in communities. For their part, participants said the program has boosted their confidence and encouraged entrepreneurship and improved their lives. And the Information Ministry has responded to allegations linking the government to masterminding the fire outbreak at the headquarters of the Solidarity Trust for a New Day stand. Following the incident early Thursday morning, stand chairman Moba Molu claimed that the fire was masterminded by the government due to its planned protest. However, Information Minister Jeremy Pia told Mika press briefing Thursday that government has no intent to go after any civil society group as perceived by the group. Minister Pia described the group's allegation as inflammatory and only intended to shift the attention of government. He maintained that government remains open to criticism while upholding the rights of citizens through protests and dialogue, among others.
Vafle Kamara with the bulletin. Vafle will be back with our weather and also with our foreign news. And one of the big stories we are following, Liberia and ECOWAS signed an agreement to host ECOWAS Youth Development Center, which was previously hosted by Burkina Faso, but is now coming to Liberia. What an applause. Well, on Wednesday, the Board of Directors of the Millennium Challenge Corporation, MCC, reaffirmed Liberia's eligibility for a second compact. Now, on Thursday, government is not letting complacency set in. Rather, it has started engaging the MCC team to identify specific areas of support. At those talks, Liberia is being represented by Finance Minister Augustine Gaffon, while the MCC is represented by Madam Carrie Monahan, head of MCC Operations for Africa. Finance and Development Planning Minister Augustine Gaffon spoke in an interview with Vafle Kamara on the Super Morning Show.